Good morning, Griffin McElroy.
Hi, Simone. We're playing. It looks like we're playing a game called Moon Hunters, which I'm very excited about because I hate that moon and I'm ready to kill it and collect its pelt.
This is unfortunately not the game for you. We're trying to save the moon.
Well, why wouldn't it be called Moon Savers?
Well, the moon is lost. See, here's the thing. You are this legendary hero. It's a point-and-click RPG by Kit Fox Games, and you're a legendary hero, and your village was gonna celebrate the first moon feast, you know, see the moon rise, have a good time, eat some food. The moon never shows up. She's gone.
That lazy-ass moon. It never shows up to its appointments. Don't RSVP yes if you're not gonna make it. It's rude.
I know. We're gonna have a talk with her when we find her.
Is that you on the right there?
Yeah, that's me.
That's a badass looking character.
Oh, looks so cool.
Yeah,
there are like 4 characters to choose from at the very beginning, and then you can unlock 2 more, so there are 6 total, all different classes, which is great because you can play this 4-player co-op, which is something that I wanted to do, except that I was all alone, which is why I died so many times. So I played this game through about 5 times. It's really short, and yes, you're going on this quest to find the moon. And at the very end, you find out that the Sun Cult has basically done some shenanigans. You have to fight the Sun King Marduk. Those things are the same in every playthrough. Everything else between is procedurally generated, so any number of things can happen. So while it's a really, really short game, like I said, I played it 5 times.
Yeah.
It feels really big. Oh, cooking. This is my favorite freaking thing. This is the best. This is something you can do when you camp at the end of each area. You can make a choice to do stargazing or cooking and basically raise your stats in some way that will hopefully help you in the final battle. Who knows, of course, what you will encounter along the way because, Sargon. He is one of the unlockable characters. I can play as him. I got my butt kicked.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So.
I wanted to ask real quick. The multiplayer, is it local only or online as well?
There's both local and online multiplayer. You can play with up to 4 people in either of those modes. Again, I have unfortunately not tried either of those, although I would really like to because I want to see the ways. There are certain classes definitely that I feel would benefit from being played in a group rather than as a solo character for sure. So this seems like a solid idea in theory. So yeah, I have some mixed feelings about the procedurally generated nature of it. The whole point is that you're going through the world and creating your own legend, and you can do that. Like, there are so many things that can happen every time, but because it's so short, there are points where it almost feels like you're not being able to fully pursue any of the threads that you're unlocking. Like,
sure.
For example, there's this cave that I found once in my playthrough. It's this bloody, horrible cave covered in bones, and I wasn't brave enough to go in. And that's because of the character I chose, but also because I just hadn't had any opportunities to raise that particular personality trait in that playthrough. And so, there's this whole adventure that's just kind of locked off to me, and I'm not sure what I would have to do to find that cave again, and I'm also, probably more importantly, I'm not sure how exactly I could raise that bravery trait. So that's kind of one of the things that, like, while it's really short and then feels really vast, which is wonderful, there are also some things that just frustrate me about it.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a bummer. Like, you see a thing and then you move on from it. Just say, well, bye. I'll probably never see you again.
Who knows? Like, one time in all the 5 playthroughs. And then every single time I get someone tells me that someone could teach me how to talk to animals. This is Sargon, by the way. I love his fireballs from heaven.
Thanks God for the fireballs. That was really cool of you. Do you think you would have played this 5 times over if you were not doing a video on it for a video game website called Polygon.com?
That's something that I would say to people who are gonna pick it up, is that go into it with the goal of playing it multiple times, because it definitely is meant to be played basically infinitely. Because the first time, like, even though I played it 5 times, I only beat it technically once because the final boss battle is really hard.
Oh wait, if you die, that's it.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
You can die kind of multiple times. See, in each of these areas that you go to, you basically have 3 days. So you're traveling from area to area. If you die in those areas, you just camp for the night. That's 1 day done. And then the final boss battle is the only time you can actually permanently die, and that's when you start over.
Interesting. I'm getting kind of like a, did you play the Yogg?
I haven't played the Yogg.
I'm getting kind of a feel for that, where it's like, the Yogg is very similar in that, like, you had a set span of time, and then when that was over, the shit hit the fan, and then it sort of, depending on how well you had prepared, the fight at the end, or not the fight, but the event at the end would be either, you know, good or bad. And it also had multiplayer.
Yeah, I love that concept, and I definitely think it benefits from the advantage of having it just be a 3-day thing, you know, because then you can kind of commit to just playing for that short time. But then what it reminded me of was Road Not Taken from Spry Fox. It really made me think of that. Although I think Road Not Taken benefits from that smaller scale of it just being a village. You know, it's very more fairy tale, whereas this is a legend that spans the entire land.
Yeah,
there's that freaking camel that I can never talk to. Ugh, I'm so mad. I want to talk to the camel, Griffin.
Well, what do you think it would have to say that has you, like, replaying this game over and over again?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'll never know. Will I ever know? Because I've only broached the first step of the being able to talk to animals arc. And then I died. And then that day ended. And then I had to start the game over.
It can't possibly be worth it. Because, how you doing? I'm pretty thirsty basically all the time. I'm a camel. Do you want some cigarettes?
I think that you're representing camels very negatively here. That's not called for.
That was
hateful. Have you ever met a camel?
Yes. Not like a talking one. So like, who's this game for? What would you say? Because when I first saw, were you surprised? Because when I first saw like a trailer for it, I thought it was going to be oh, nice.
I know.
Hey.
Making out.
I first sort of thought it was going to be like a big, grand scale co-op RPG, but it sounds like it kind of isn't that.
I think it's interesting because it's almost both. Like, the scale feels so grand just because there's so much that you could potentially do. But again, it's something very, very much where you could sit down with 3 friends and chill out for 45 minutes, an hour. I think my shortest playthrough, which was awful, only took half an hour.
Yeah.
So you can just sit down with your friends and have, you know, a little play sesh. But at the same time, I mean, the story that you're telling is going to be different every time.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. And I did try, I got really into it after I made this video, and I was like, I'm gonna replay it and I'm gonna do really well this time. And I didn't, almost immediately, and then I got very frustrated. So, yeah, that's kind of been my roller coaster of emotions with Moon Hunters.